Welcome to another episode of Musically Zone Talks Boxing. This episode comes to you by way of HW Wick's handcrafted cameras. Their motto is relax and enjoy. Also by the Block Fam, which started on Marlowe's Corner, we just keeping it going. And if you know somebody that's looking for some music, that knows somebody that's looking for some music, tell them to hit us up and we'll hook them up with the track titles. That's where we get our music from. Now, if you like fantasy boxing prediction leagues, Champ Ross's Fantasy Boxing Prediction League can be for you. Why? Because it's been around. It has the longevity. It has been proven. And it has prizes. First, second, and third place. Cheddar. That means you get a little cash for going ahead and spending some time over there at Champ Ross's Fantasy Boxing League if you can handle the pressure. Now, if you can call a fight by first, second, third, fourth, whatever round, knockout, split decision, or the dreaded draw, Champ Ross's Fantasy Prediction Boxing League is for you. And we also got to make mention to Moody Trayweather Sports Channel, also on YouTube. He's doing some trivia, he gives you some questions, and he's kind enough to give you the answers. But that last one, yeah, you better be thinking. You better know what's going on. You better have yourself together. Now, he's going to open the doors up and have a full trivia blast off, but it's going to be testing the knowledge to see if you've been showing up. That's right, to see if you've been showing up, or you just trying to show up and get something when it's time to do the little old trivia blast off. So if you like having fun in fantasy boxing leagues or doing some trivia, go ahead and check out Champ Ross's Fantasy Boxing League and Moody Trayweather Sports Channel, both on YouTube. You can find them with no problem. And when you do find them, let them know that MZ sent you. Now, y'all know how we do. We got that out the way. We sit back, we get to jamming a little bit, and we start the show. We smooth with that. Niggas get to tripping on the block, we cool with that. If you really got a problem, we can deal with that. But don't be crying to you people when we bring shit back. We smooth with that. Niggas get to tripping on the block, we cool with that. If you really got a problem, we can deal with that. But don't be crying to you people when we bring shit back.
I spit real through the bullshit. Average niggas can't handle that. It's not my fault they fuck niggas.
This nigga burning candles black? What the fuck is that? Who these niggas trying to be? Whatever you do, keep them niggas away from me.
And I'ma leave it there. Now back to the realest shit. Big E dropping that heat. Where you been with this? The apex predator shit coming together, bro. If you want to step to this shit, reset your schedule. Ain't none of your bets hedgeable. Woo! Ain't none of your words legible. When I catch you with this bat, your legs won't be leggable. You'll be in the wheelchair, moving like vegetables. But not the kind you eat, the kind you get rewarded with for fucking around in the streets. Yeah, bitch, I'm the la-di-das. Step through, black Adidas. It's a shame that he didn't see the lime green dot. Lit his ass like a suite of the finest lot. Caught him slipping at the light about 9 o'clock. Nigga never got a chance to text his moms and pop.
I'm almost home.
We smooth with that. Niggas get to tripping on the block, we cool with that. If you really got a problem, we can deal with that. But don't be crying to you people when we bring shit back. We smooth with that. Niggas get to tripping on the block, we cool with that. If you really got a problem, we can deal with that. But don't be crying to you people when we bring shit back. Pressure then or pressure now. Niggas always talking down. Hit him like the Exorcist and spin his head completely round. Talking like some giants, yeah, I guess they think they standing tall. Till I came up in his piece and hit him like some fentanyl. Looking strange when facing truth, cause fantasy is how they live. Drop a lick until they laugh and surely they can't handle it. Put them down, bring them food, teach them what they should do. Before it's all over, watch them turn and straight up hate on you. We smooth with that. Niggas get to tripping on the block, we cool with that. If you really got a problem, we can deal with that. But don't be crying to you people when we bring shit back. Coming out the trench.
Dolo.
What's good? What's good?
El Dolo on the beat.
Ain't none of my pick legend, man. Ain't none of your pick legend.
Hopping out the 2-4. C7 Weezy. This shit really hard. I just make it look easy. My game slow fishing. Float like a butterfly. Stretch like inches. I hear a lot of talk, but ain't too many from the trenches. Hard step hard, lost 69, swole up. Them hoes used to pass me by, now they like, hold up. Truck black wax, look like a bag of fruit oil. Texas edition leather, remember you a 2-star. Shit, I got 2 cars that I ain't even drove yet. You might use one, come through and spray your whole set. No bet, so be taking on the way out. I'ma win either way, so I'ma let it play out. Don't bring them K's out, let them hoes blaze out. If you really real, go and close them niggas' days out. You can't sit back and let it linger. Cause if you do my ninja, they gon' snatch you like a zinger.
Coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trenches.
Better get their ass some braille if they claiming they can't see. They don't really need their eyes when they focusing on them Z. Blow a blunt and sip a fifth about it. Have them straight up sick about it. Sitting on the throne waiting for them to come click about it. Treat them like the ashes on the blunt, gon' flick them out. He wanted to go hard to come through and straight trick them out it. Pistol talking, damn Z, gon' make me handy. They talking too much, please let me show them they some pansies. Raised by some killers, so killer talk don't move me. Just saying, then squeeze a new scene from a movie. Make their brains hang from the things that I will bring. Started at the bottom, now I'm standing on the top, man.
Coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trench.
They said, MZ, take another lap. I'm like, okay, let's go. When everything is going right, expect a quick left, bro. I've seen a lot of souls get sold before the cash, bro. I tried to warn them about it, but they always tell me hush, bro. It seems they forgot. Yeah, I moved in the streets. Yeah, I stood on the cuts, and I always had heat. And I stood up in the kitchen, whipped it up so I can change. When I went away to college to put an edge on this thing.
Coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trench, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trench, coming out the trenches, coming out the trenches. Welcome to another show with your favorite with the funk. Musically zone MZ Talks Boxing, Mr. 1326, always spitting, sitting. Y'all know I'm joined with Trey X, the great Trey X, the man that can call a frog up out of a whale, get crickets and snakes, bats and eagles to sit down and watch a fight, as he called it with a style that only he can do. My player partner, my aunt or my nephew, Trey, the great, is in the building with us tonight. Oh man, what can I say? What can I say? I guess I can start off by saying lately in Champ Ross, I have been garbage, trash. I mean, terrible. Oh yeah, he the great. He the great now. What you talking about? He said hashtag Champ Ross smoke. I don't really know what you're getting at. I don't really know what he's getting at, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna get explained to me sometime. I can't even talk no noise. I came in, I kicked the door down talking noise. Got, I did all right the first week, second week got smashed. This week I got drugged. I am not understanding what's going on. Apparently, me and my picks are not connected at all.
Yeah. You come get some of this smoke this week. What's going down, OG?
Man,
I was gonna say salute to everybody in the chat, but shit, I don't see nobody but Gil Coles right now. So salute to my nigga Gil Coles. But he sure can get some of this smoke this week. We got a 20-round fight. We going old school with it. You know what I'm saying? We going back to the Brockton rules and all that type of shit. We ain't under the Marquise and Queensberry rules. We gonna take it back to our roots. We going 20 rounds, and yeah, you got it.
Yeah, this I'm gonna have to make a move this week. I'm gonna have to make a move this week. I see some fights that I'm pretty excited about. Really excited about. Moises Atama, he gonna be fighting Flip Herkovich. My girl Caroline Dubois is stepping into the ring. But one of the fights I'm super excited about is Chantal Cameron and Michaela Mayer. I think that's gonna be a good fight. I think they fighting for what? 1, 2, 3, 4 WBA, WBC, and the ring, and the WBO junior. Yeah, they fighting for all those. My player from across the pond, Yasser, is up in the building.
Yeah, so what's going down, bro? I'm surprised you still up. It's like 1 a.m. over there.
Yeah, I should have got started a little earlier, just for his keepsake. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to those fights for sure, especially the Moses Atama fight. I want to see how he deals with Flip Herkovich and see how that's gonna run out. If he can maintain in the beginning of the fight, and not get hurt or anything, I think his youth and his energy will probably take over in the later parts of the round. And dare I say, I'm thinking he might be able to do something pretty big and put a stop to old Herkovich.
It's the men stopped before though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, it's a lot of doubts I hear from some people. I ain't gonna say Haiti about my boy Moses Atama, but I think Atama can put the brakes on him. I think he can put the brakes on him, and I think it'll be like maybe around 9 or 10. Might be a little earlier, say 7 or 8. Between 7 and 10, I'll be looking for Herkovich to take a seat.
Yeah, my boy Gil Cole's got his doubts about Moses Atama. He say he feel like he a hype job and shit. So I guess there is some people out there that's feeling that way. I don't really see him as a hype job though. I mean, the motherfucker got the amateur background that I like. He a 5 on the scale. Motherfucker won gold at the youth AIBA World Championships and shit. He done went out there and stopped the Iron Man that other people couldn't stop, and the Franklin guy, what's his name?
I know which Franklin you're talking about. Stopped and made him look like a cartoon character falling down. Jermaine, I can't remember his first name. Jermaine.
Yeah, he stopped Jermaine Franklin. He done been in there with a couple of vets. You know what I'm saying? Like he went out there and stopped Dillian White. I think he right on pace. You know what I'm saying, for where he's supposed to be. But this is gonna be a step up fight, and this is gonna be a tough test for him, though. You know what I'm saying? Herkovich is the bigger guy. The motherfucker won a bronze at the Olympics and shit. He actually put a right hand on the southpaw. God damn, I can't even think of that dude's name, man. The dude that had fought against Big Baby Miller in his last fight and shit, Perro. Linear Perro. He had dropped Linear Perro with that right hand. I think Linear Perro is a southpaw. He put that right hand right on that motherfucker and knocked him out at the Olympics and shit. You know what I'm saying? He done been around the block in the pros. He done been in there with some big time southpaws like Gilles Jong and all that type of shit, if I'm not mistaken. He done been tested a few times. He done been beat. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't scared to lose no O because he already lost it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He gonna come. What you said was spot on. I'm right there with you. You got to be careful with this guy early because Herkovich is gonna put that right hand on you early. I ain't seen nobody that he couldn't hit. You know what I'm saying? Now you might be able to take it like Daniel Dubois did. He surprisingly took some savage right hands, and then he wore him down over the course of the fight, going to the body and all that type of shit, broke him down and got him up out of there. But early in the fight, you got to be on your toes, keep your head on the swivel, because Herkovich is gonna put something on you. You know what I'm saying? So let's see how Thomas deal with the shit early. I'm with you. I got KO7 in the Champ Ross. I'm thinking that he gonna wear the motherfucker down over the course of the fight. Maybe go to the body with the straight left hand, looping left hands and shit like that, break him down. And I think he gonna catch him KO7.
Yeah, I can see him stab into the body quite a bit. And not surprisingly, the youngster, he got good foot movement. You know what I'm saying? He does move around. You know what I'm saying? I can see him getting in and out. Like you said, he got to work out. He got to look out for the right hand. But I think his defense would be equipped. You know, he'd be adept well enough with his defense to be able to either roll with the right hand, you know, turn with it, to take some of the power off of it, or maybe just outright make him miss with it. Not saying he'll miss them all. I'm pretty sure he'll land a couple, but I'm looking for Moses to have great punch placement throughout the fight and chop him down and wear him out. And like I said, get him out of there between 7 and 9. Did I say no? 7 and 10. I'm looking between 7 and 10. I haven't quite really picked which one I want to mark down as my KO, but I feel like that's going to be something going down. My boy Gil Cole said he got a timer for KO 9. Hyphy said, yeah, I got in a little late having my bedtime split. So, you know, we probably lose him in a little while. As soon as that kick in, he'll be going to bed in the clouds.
Yeah, he got some bad shit over there too. He got all kind of shit.
Yeah, I know. But you know, I'm on a whole different path now. It is what he said. Let's see how Atama looks after the 4th round. He might have some stamina issues of his own if it gets even past the 4th. I think I hear a lot. I've heard a few people say that they have questions about his stamina, but I think he'll be all right. I don't really think the stamina issue is as vital as people think it is. I think he'll be able to step through what he needs to and go a distance fight if he has to go a distance fight. Not looking for this one to do that, but then again, you know, Urkovich could surprise us and make it for the 36 minutes. But I'm not looking for it to happen.
You know, people got questions because we ain't seen it. He knocking everybody the fuck out in two rounds. So yeah, you're gonna have some questions. What's gonna happen if you go late into the fight? So yeah, that's a very interesting question to have going into this fight. Now, what I do like going for him is that like he get a lot of knockouts, but he ain't necessarily in there going balls to the wall, throwing everything hard and fast, like trying to get a knockout. He really be setting this shit up. He be fainting the motherfuckers and shit. The motherfucker be going for them feints. Now all of a sudden here he come with the left hand. Bow! You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah. I think he got the type of style that he can go some rounds. You know what I'm saying? He ain't like let's say Big Baby Miller when he not Big Baby Miller, but the other Big Baby, Big Baby Davis. So what the not Big Baby?
Yeah, it's Davis and Miller.
Big Baby Anderson, Jared Anderson is who I'm talking about. The motherfucker will come out throwing all them fast and hard punches and all that type of shit. This dude really don't fight like that. He's more of a guy that's gonna set something up on you. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll be okay with his stamina, but that's just an assumption. We have to see, and maybe we'll get a chance to see it. And also, what plays a part in that is how is Urkovich gonna approach the fight? Is he gonna sit back and be concerned about the power, so where he gonna want to try to play chess with that type of shit and try to, you know, kind of stay in the mid range and stay on the outside? Or is he gonna be a motherfucker that's gonna go in there and try to go get him like he did against Daniel Dubois? Go in there and put a right hand on him. That could cause Moses Itama to use some energy in defense instead of just using energy with offense. And if you're using energy with defense, he might get worn down faster. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
We just have to see what type of fight it is. You know how Urkovich gonna approach the fight, and we'll get a chance to get that question answered. How is this guy's stamina going deep into the fight? Because when he fight against elite guys, he's not gonna be able to get them out of there in 2 rounds. They probably gonna take him late.
If I had to guess, I would think it would be more conducive for Urkovich to fight his regular fight. I think if he tries to play chess with the dude, I think he's gonna lose. I think he'll lose in that game because from my eye test, Thomas seems well equipped to box. Like you said, you know, he be feinting, he be setting up stuff. I think he's well equipped to deal with Urkovich. If Urkovich tries to sit there and get on the chessboard with him, I think Urkovich gonna need to stay be Urkovich that night and see what he get out of it. Because I think Atama may be a level or 2 better than him when it comes down to just trying to put on boxing skills. That's just my opinion from the eye test that I've received that I get from watching him fight. I can see the setups and the skills that he's been able to show so far. Even though, like you said, he don't go out there and just try to swing all hard and fast every punch. He does mix it up. Sometimes he tap, sometimes he put a little thump to it, and sometimes he try to drop a hammer. But he mixes it all. He mixes it all together quite good. And I think Erkovich would be better served if he go out there and just be Erkovich that night.
Well, one thing about it too is that Ergovich got the physical advantages as far as the height and the reach. So we're gonna get a chance to see how Moses Itama closes the distance in his fights. Normally the smaller guys, they like to bob and weave their way in. They'll slip their way in, you know what I'm saying? They'll slip jab their way in and shit like that. We get a chance to see how he does that. He gonna have to get past the reach. And I think that Ergovich is like 6'6" or some shit, ain't he? 6'5" or something like that. He up there pretty good.
He a big guy. He a big guy.
Big guy. So we're gonna get the chance to see how Itama get on the inside. He might have to be like Daniel Dubois and take some shots to get on the inside. Cause that's what happened. Dubois took plenty of right hands in that fight to get that win. And let's see if Itama is gonna be able to take some shots to get some shit out. Cause that might be what it requires.
So you think he might have to just go through the fire to get there?
He's gonna have to get on the inside some way.
Right.
If he's not sophisticated enough to get on the inside without getting hit, he's gonna have to get in there anyway. So he might have to take some to give some. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I guess this would be a chance for people to see if the opportunity arises, see if he got a chance, see how he'd be able to deal with that kind of adversity. If Erkovich uses his jab and his length correctly, yeah, that could be a nice wall for him to have to try to figure out how to get around over or under. But shoot, that fight is around the corner, and I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. I'm pretty sure. I already know, like everybody else probably know, I'm going with Itama. So I'm going with Moses Itama. Hyphy got a comment. He said a lot of people feel that was some low quality boxing last weekend. Bad look for boxing if that's considered world championship boxing and it was pay-per-view. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, you bring it up straight up, Hyphy. I got to go ahead and say I was highly disappointed at that fight. It was not, to me, worthy to be the main card or the main event. I didn't see it as a main event. Rolly went out there and fought as if he was tentative. He didn't really want to, it seemed like he didn't want to engage. And when he did engage, you could see that he stood a chance to be able to give Tio some work and a much harder fight than what he gave him. But going back to what you said, Trey, about how he was kind of it seemed like he was probably having an issue because Tio probably was getting the best of him in sparring and things of that nature. I think that probably played a big role in it. I also kind of felt like, you know, Rolly let that friendship thing kind of pop into his head. And I'm just saying this is my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but just the way he fought, it just didn't look right. Because, you know, when he cut T.O. and then he almost dropped T.O. and then he wobbled him again at the end of the third round, I was figuring that he would smell blood and go ahead and step on the gas and meet T.O. But something that popped into my mind also while watching the fight was Rolly getting knocked out in sparring. We saw him get dropped in sparring twice, and then the way he got dropped by Tank, and all by the same kind of punch. So I think he was a little leery with that when they started fighting. I think he was worried about T.O. catching him in the exchanges. So yeah, it was a terrible fight. Terrible.
Yeah, and like when we watched the fight, we were saying like if you're gonna have a motherfucking the main event of a pay-per-view, they shouldn't be coming off a 15-month layoff. You are not putting the fighter in position to give us fans the best quality product possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, you giving us a subpar product if you got a guy coming off a 15-month layoff. And I think I kind of saw that with Rolly a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I say normally, like, a layoff don't hurt the simple guys because, you know, they get in that high guard and then they'll come straight to you like a Williams or Pater, and the layoff don't hurt them as much. But Rolly ain't quite like that. Like, he ain't a real sophisticated fighter, but he not just a straight high guard walk to you fighter. He tried to be on the outside and tried to be slick in his own way. Hit you with the check hook and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to be sharp with this shit. Your eyes got to be sharp too. And if you've been out the ring for 15 months, how the fuck you gonna be sharp with your shit? You know what I'm saying? So I think that played a big part in the fight. I think if he had been active and he came into the fight a well-oiled machine, I think we would have got a better product. He might have stopped Tio. You know what I'm saying? Cause like for example, when he first hurt Tio, when Tio shot that jab out there, then he came over the top with that overhand right type of punch. He was so off balance when he threw that punch, he couldn't even come back with his hook. If he had his balance and had his body in the correct position after he landed that punch and came back with the hook, he might have got T.O. ass up out of there. You know what I'm saying? But he was so out of position that he couldn't even come back with nothing. And to me, that just looked like a motherfucker that's just not sharp because you've been out the ring and shit. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention all the other factors that you talked about, the familiarity and also the friendship. All of that shit being all together and you ain't sharp and shit. I could see the motherfucker coming out there with a flat performance. And I think that's what I saw, a flat performance from T.O.
You mean Rolly?
No, yeah, not T.O., but Rolly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think T.O. took advantage of it. I think T.O. saw that and he knew that the danger that should have been facing him was not there. And I heard him talk about, those two punches, I needed that to wake me up. But no, I think you realized after he landed on you how he didn't jump on you, that you was like, oh, he gonna give me this fight. That's what I seen. Rolly pretty much went out there, just handed him a belt.
Well, at the same time, though, I'm gonna give T.O. some props too for the adjustment that he made in the fight, because when he would step in with like a hard jab or like lead off with the right hand hard, Rolly would take a step back and shoot that hook out there. Or he might step back and throw that right hand out there at his motherfucking ass, like as a counter. So T.O. started shooting that motherfucker out there, but not committing to it all the way. He'll let Rolly throw that shit first, and then he'll step in with his attack. So that's an adjustment that he made in the fight. And Rolly didn't have no adjustment to his adjustment. And he let Teofimo control the fight with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Get like an 8-4 type of victory. So I will give T.O. some props on that. But T.O. is looking like food at 147. You know what I'm saying? He is not looking like an overall strong fighter. He ain't got a knockout since 2022. He left all his power at 135. That's where his pops. What does Pop say?
Where's your power? Where's your power?
That shit at 135. That's where the power is. He ain't got a knockout since 2022, bro. Think about that, man. It's 2026. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Very close to rolling into 27.
Yeah, you couldn't hurt the 140 pounders. Now you at 147. How you gonna hurt them? You just fought a motherfucker that's been knocked out twice, and he went the distance against you without even really getting hurt too much. Most of the time when the fighter was hurt, it was you. I think he might have hurt Rolly once that I saw where it just kind of stood out to me that Rolly got rocked. But this is a man that's been stopped twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he going the distance against you. So your power ain't worth a fuck. It wasn't worth a fuck at 140, and the damn sure ain't worth a fuck at 147. So you looking like food at 147.
Yeah, he gonna have to step his boxing skills up a heck of a lot more if he wants to be a true player in the game. But we'll see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Once again, he's got a chance. He's gotten the belt, got his hands on the belt. He's got a chance to do a lot of talking, which I'm sure he's going to do. I'll see how humble he is in the next few weeks that's going to be coming up, and what fight he'll be looking to take next, who he'll be looking to go after. Since you got 4 champions now, if you're not going after one of the champions, then I'm gonna have to consider what are you doing. Let me answer Hyphy. He said, I see them subscriber numbers jumped up ever since you expanded your topics. I expanded my topics, but it wasn't for that. It's more of how I feel about what's going on with that situation. I'm grateful for it, but I still want to be boxing home, talking my boxing stuff. You know what I'm saying? If something comes up that's that type of thing that moves me where I need to talk about it, I will. Considering one of the highlights of last week's boxing was one of the Island boys getting KO'd by a small person. I won't call him. Who did he get knocked out by? I didn't even know they fought.
Who?
It's one of the Island boys.
Yeah, he fought. I don't even know what you call them folks, man.
Zeus.
I don't know his name, but I know he was a little person though. Put them hands on him.
Oh, you mean like you don't know if you should call him a dwarf or a midget or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel you. He said I won't call it the best week of boxing. No, it was terrible. It was terrible. Eric R's in the building. What's
Hold on,
going on?
hold on. Y'all saying all that. Let me go into
Well, I'm talking about Rolly and T.O. They were terrible.
I know, but y'all said a terrible week of boxing, so I got to go give the shout outs to the people that went out there and had a good weekend. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been doing for the last few live streams. When I come on, I give some shout outs for what happened last week and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Go
And
for it.
also talk about the schedule for next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me give some shout outs real quick for what went down last week. I ain't gonna go over all the fights, just the ones that stood out. So this motherfucker Israel Mercado, he came off a layoff and fought Carlos Utria or some shit like that. Utria got the victory, but a lot of people felt like Israel Mercado won that fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give some credit to Mercado. Utria, he didn't even make weight for the fight. He weighed in at 140.8 for the junior welterweight fight and shit. You know what I'm saying? He went out there and got the victory. He was throwing punches and shit, but I could definitely see why people thought that Mercado won the fight. So we had Yoeli Hernandez. I blew all that smoke about him last week, talking about what he was gonna do. He went out there and got the victory, but he didn't look dominant like a lot of people would expect him to look. I actually picked him to win by decision though, so I wasn't surprised that the fight went to a decision. Me and Yasa also bet the fight by decision and shit too. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
the
I
reason
picked it for
was,
split decision.
yeah, the reason was because Verone is an Olympian. He's Argentinian, and the motherfuckers be tough in Argentina a lot of the time. You know what I'm saying? And plus I just saw some stamina from him in the past. He can box on the outside a little bit. He got some toughness. Like I said, he was in that tournament on Pro Box TV with Brandon and Cadman Adams and Andre Kasarakis, and it was this other guy too. I can't remember his fucking name. But they had a nice little tournament over there and shit. And this guy showed me something off in there. Yoeli Hernandez, I saw some limitations from him. Like I didn't know he was that squared up. You know what I'm saying? Like you just walking to the man, like you taking a fucking brisk walk around the park or something. It don't even look like boxing. You ain't even in a boxing stance. You just walking to the motherfucker, squared up and shit, giving up your body. If you get off and up with somebody that can that can go to the body with the left hook, your ass is in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But he is like an action guy though. He throws punches, he lands punches, he a fan friendly type of guy. So he at least gonna be in some good fights. But if you get off in there with somebody that got some real good boxing skills, they gonna give his ass some problems. You know what I'm saying? So then I was disappointed with this fight. My guy Victor Santigan, he went out there and dropped the unanimous decision to Gary Antonio Russell. He pretty much lost every single round. It was tough on him, and I had spoke on the bad loss that he took against Tenshin Nasukawa, and this was a similar type of matchup and shit. It was Tenshin Nasukawa was a southpaw that had a lot of speed, and Victor Santillan is also a southpaw. So these are southpaw on southpaw matchups. When he fought against Gary Antonio Russell, Gary Antonio Russell got some really fast hands, just like Tenshin Nasukawa. And that speed gave Victor Santillan problems all night. He couldn't hardly ever win a round. And then the game plan, as far as smothering him on the inside, was frustrating him. He showed some mental weakness, looking over to the referee for assistance and shit instead of getting things under control on his own. I was disappointed in my guy. He did show some toughness at the end of the fight because he got hurt real bad and he was able to withstand the
Onslaught.
stay in there to the rest of the fight. So he showed some toughness and shit. But that was a good win for Gary Antonio Russell, no doubt, because he went out there and beat a motherfucker that won bronze at the Central American and Caribbean Games and is a globe trotter. He goes all around the world whooping ass, you know what I'm saying? And this guy came off a layoff to do it. Them Russell brothers, they experts at handling layoffs. And I guess we can say that collectively they seem to be some grade grade one layoff people. Like if they on a layoff, they not on the couch. They still working and they in the gym and shit. And that's helping them to come off these layoffs and still look good. You know what I'm saying? That's matter of fact, that's the best I ever seen Gary Antonio Russell look. And I said it during the fight. I said, man, this looked like a coming out party for Gary Allen Russell as a trainer because he got the middle brother looking better than the father did. You know what I'm saying? Like he looking sharp out there in his last fight, man. So salute to Gary Antonio Russell. He did his thing. We talked about Rolly Romero. Uh, Emmanuel, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Buddy G or some shit like that. He fought that P.A. Gordon, two guys with a little amateur background. They had to draw and shit. That was a good fight in the UK. Jimmy Sains went out there and got the decision over Tom Cowling, and Tom Cowling had a breakout party as far as being tough. That motherfucker tough. He could take some punches. He very composed in the ring and shit. Nothing seemed like it was too big. Like none of the moments of the fight seemed too big for him. He handled himself, composed himself, and went the distance in the fight against a guy that can punch and that's gonna bring some serious offense to you. You know what I'm saying? George Little, he got the stoppage this weekend. That was good for him. This Lupita Medina, she went out there and took an upset loss to Brooks Cibrian or something like that. That's a good win for her because Medina got a little amateur background. She real pretty and shit too, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they like to see the pretty girls win.
Yeah.
They like kind of promote them and stuff, but she went out there and knocked off the pretty girl, you know what I'm saying? So we got to give a shout out to Brooks Cibrian. Avius Griffin, he went off in there and knocked out Jackson Marinez, went out there and stopped him. That was a good win for him. Mayeli Flores and Melissa Mortensen went out there and just went to war. I'm talking about they probably had the fight of the year for the women's. You know what I'm saying? They went out there and got their paper. Mayeli Flores, she is like an action type of fighter. She's short and she gonna bob and weave and get on the inside and come with some real hard shots and shit. You know what I'm saying? She just real tough. And Melissa Mortensen, she like a taller woman. She from Sweden. She like the box kind of pretty, kind of be on the outside, but she will stand her ground and put some shots up in there. And Mayeli Flores got a knockdown on Mortensen like in the second round. Mortensen fought her way back into the fight, lead right hands and shit like that, coming back with the hook and all that kind of shit. Fought her way to a 1-point victory on every scorecard. Everybody had it 95-94 for a split decision for Mortensen. She went out there and won the vacant belt. The crowd was booing the woman, man, after the fight. I'm talking about a chorus, cascade, a flood of boos like you ain't never heard before, man. And this woman just went out there and left it all in the fucking ring. She did not score the fight. All she did was leave it all in the ring and let the chips fall where they may. They fell her way, and the fucking fans, the Mexican supporters, because Flores was Mexican, they just booed the woman all fucking night and shit. She couldn't even go up there and do the interview in peace because they booing her and shit, man. That was an embarrassment. And then Amanda Serrano, she was supposed to be breaking Christy Martin's record for knockouts. And they tried to cherry pick a woman for her. So they got this Lucretia Manzur. I thought she was going to get her ass whipped. I'm not going to lie. I picked Serrano by knockout. But this Manzur, she'd have been stopped twice. So that was like a cherry pick for a knockout. Right. And this woman came in there. She didn't get the memo. She came in that motherfucker and fought hard. I really think she won the fight. Man, she was landing all kind of hard shots on Amanda Serrano. And I know she a legend and all that type of shit, man, and they want to send her off good. But I think that other woman should have won that fight, man. Manzur should have won that shit. She was real unorthodox. I'm going to tell you, it kind of reminded me of Salido when he fought against Lomachenko. Because he was controlling the fight with that lead, that looping right hand. That's what this woman was doing. She was downstairs. She was upstairs with that looping right hand. Serrano didn't know where it was going to go. She getting on the inside and cracking her with this looping right hand all night long. You know what I'm saying? Serrano showed some toughness and shit. And, you know, she got herself back into the fight. But I think that she should have lost that fight. You know what I'm saying? But that was actually a decent weekend of fighting, in my opinion. We did, like, it wasn't as good as some other weekends, but it had its highlights.
Right.
In the weekend, yeah.
Well, one thing I can say about Missouri, I was saying it, I think I said it maybe last time we was on. Dim's Design is in the building. She said, hello, fellas in chat. What is going on, sis?
What's going on? Salute.
Oh, man, that's all right. That just moved my heart a little bit. What I was going to say, though, I had been, going over a couple of fighters and like some fighters that have skill, or I put, that like to box, like putting Serrano. when you get somebody in front of you that are off timing, like you said, awkward, I say off timing, where the dancing is not quite what you used to, it kind of freezes the fighter that boxes and had good timing slightly. And that gives that person, that awkward person, just enough moments to get in there and get their shine in a little bit. And I think that could have been one of the things. Dang, that hurt. Dang. That could have been one of the things that kind of threw Serrano off a little bit. Not to mention that Serrano probably getting a little older. What's up with y'all? So what's up, y'all? Glad to be able to pop in to see what y'all talking about. You know, we talking about that boxing.
Yep. Always.
Talking about that boxing.
Oh,
Now we just
say we're gonna be talking boxing at least in the beginning of the live stream for sure.
Oh, that's all the time. But yeah, I got my Serrano. Did she won by what, majority?
Yeah.
Okay, so she screwed me. Mortison, she got me because she gave me a split decision. Griffin, I can't remember. I had him for a split decision. I had Lapita, who went out there and lost for a split decision. Lillard, I was like, dude, why you stopping? You didn't have to stop him. You could have went on and went to the decision because I needed that help. I really needed that. I needed that help. Oh, badly I needed that help. Who else? I got the win with Gary Antoine Russell, but he didn't get a split, which I needed a split from him. Hernandez, I needed a split from him. Carlos, I got, I walked off proud with that. But you're correct. Mercado, if you really, I have to go look at it again, but from looking at it the very first time, the way Mercado started coming in on the end and in the later rounds, it looked like he had started giving that youngster everything that he needed. That youngster slowed down quite considerably, and that just went on and handled his business. Now the youngster came out fast. He came out fast, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be over quick." But he stayed true to form, put that veteran skill in, and survived the early rounds, and then went on and started picking his spots and started giving that youngster some trouble throughout that fight. So that's the fight that I can agree that Israel Mercado I wouldn't have been mad if he had won. I wouldn't have had no complaint. I actually was sitting there saying when they was going to the card, I was thinking that he was going to win. But to my surprise, he didn't, and I got some points. Not enough points, but
Yeah.
I've been getting my butt whooped, man. Just whooped. Oh, Terry Harper fighting too. But I guess let me see. I guess if we're gonna have to she say she listening while crocheting. My niece crochets. That just looks crazy. I don't know. There's some skills to that there. But Michaela Mayer and I can't even think of her name now.
I'll tell Cameron.
That's gonna be a fight. And I'm torn. I'm actually torn on who I think gonna win because I like Michaela, and I know Michaela gonna come to fight. Michaela likes to come forward and throw little punches, but Cameron don't bag back either. She likes to come forward and she be hammering. She goes to the body, she goes to the head, and she does that well. Michaela don't go to the body as much as Cameron, but she puts together a nice 1-2, and she moves around. She don't just stand still a lot. She does like to get inside. I see that sometime when she get inside, she'll kind of wait to see, in my opinion, she kind of wait to see what the competition is doing before she starts reacting. And I think that'd be a big mistake for her in the fight against Cameron. I think she needs to go ahead and be the first to get off, not wait around to see what's going to come back. I think she'd be well equipped if she go ahead and put in the work, get behind the jab, try to set stuff up from behind the jab, and tenderize the body a lot more without giving up her height, because I didn't realize how much taller she was until I seen them standing in front of each other, facing off. Michaela got some nice height on Cameron. So that could be a problem for her, because Cameron could possibly slip up under some punches and get on the inside and cause a lot of damage. So I'm thinking, Michaela gonna have to be 100% on point with her defense, and she's gonna have to be able to play. She's gonna have to place her punches well, hit the spots that's opened up, and get the hell up out of there. You know, make Cameron have to move around. And yeah, I'm not used to seeing Michaela going on the back foot, used to seeing Cameron going on the back foot. But you know, Cameron boasting the 18-0 record. She beat Katie Taylor. That's what a lot of people are looking at, that she beat Katie Taylor. We do know that Michaela got, I think, 2 losses. I know for sure she got that 1 loss from Little Mama, Baumgardner. So to me, it balances out. I just can't make up my mind of which one of these young ladies I want to go with. They both, you know, Michaela say that they fight can possibly be the fight of the year for the women once they go ahead and meet up, because they plan on making fireworks on both sides of both corners. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to go down. I don't think it'll be a stoppage. I think I don't expect it to be a stoppage. I'm not going to say I don't think. I don't expect it to be, because I know Michaela is hard-nosed and Cameron is hard-nosed. I think if one of them gets stopped, the other one's going to have to really be on their game that night from start to finish.
I'm taking Michaela Mayer all the way. If I look at my scale, I got like a bona fide 4 going against a 3.5 to get an edge to Michaela. Michaela done been around the block, just like Chantel Cameron done been around the block. And ain't nobody definitively beat Michaela Mayer yet. I think she beat Baumgardner.
I do too.
Most observers felt like she beat Natasha Jonas. And both of those were split decision losses. So it ain't like she got some like
somebody just whooped her butt.
Yeah, some dominant losses or something. And this woman can fight her ass off. She got a real good coach too. He old school. He a link to the past and shit with the skills that he know. And she liked the big fights. She show up big in the big fights.
She does do that. And she's an Olympian.
Yeah, all the way. And then like that Sandy Ryan that she fought, that was a formidable opponent. She went out there and shined on that woman, man. It looked like she getting better as she go up in weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm taking Michaela all the way, man. I think she gonna whoop the shit out of Cameron. I don't think she gonna stop her, but I think she gonna put hands on her though.
Now she did say that she had stayed down in smaller weight classes too long, and she said that every time she moved up, you know, when she moved up, she did say she felt a lot better because she didn't have to lose as much weight. And I think the proof is in the pudding. It's actually starting to show. And we didn't say what's up to Moody Trayweather as well. He said he got Michaela Mayer that fight too. I like Mayer, man. I'm leaning toward her, but you know, before I just jump out there, you know, I don't want to disrespect Cameron. I want to make sure I look at Cameron all the way around. I know I think most the ones that are riding with Cameron are riding with her because of the win over Katie Taylor. You know, Katie Taylor gonna be a legend, Hall of Famer, you know, and they were like, for her to beat her, you know, that's pretty big. Can Michaela come and do the same thing? They counting the losses against Michaela, but like you said, those are some close losses that could have went either way. Baumgardner, I actually feel like Baumgardner slowed down in the fight when she fought Michaela, and Michaela started picking at her throughout the later parts of the fight, which I don't think the judges actually took into account for that. But you know, no need to cry over spilled milk. Michaela can fight. She shows that she got the pedigree, the Olympian, and I haven't seen, she don't run from no smoke. She run headlong into the fire. She run into a forest fire in a minute.
Yeah. And
so
she one of the best women fighters of all time, man.
I'm looking forward to do her thing. I'm looking forward to do it. She's still saying that, you know, she's trying to move up to face Clarissa Shields. And I'm like, okay, you know, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can come to an agreement. I think she said she might even try to make 160.
Yeah, they at 154 right now. So
right. So if she can bump up just a couple of more pounds, I don't see anything that will stop her. And I think Clarissa will welcome that fight. I think she will welcome that fight for the simple reason Michaela Mayer is a formidable opponent, and Michaela Mayer can fight, and it'll give Clarissa a chance to say, let me show y'all that I'm still the top dog when it comes to these women fighters, no matter who y'all bring up. I know she respect Michaela Mayer, but at the same time, I think that'd be a fight. That would be a fight to be had. So if Michaela go ahead and handle her business against Chantel, who knows what could be coming up? Because at this moment, it looks like Michaela is looking for only the big fights. She's looking for strictly the big fights, and if that fight come calling, I think she'll be more than glad to go to 160.
Yeah.
But is Hyphy still here slumming around in here? Because I see Caroline Dubois finna fight Amelia Moore, and I'm riding with Caroline. I'm going ahead and say out the gate I'm riding with Caroline, and I hope she go ahead and handle her business. She done called out Alicia, called her what she called her, a bum, a coward, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but she talking that talk, and I have to say, because I was saying it a few weeks ago, the fights that Alicia Baumgartner claimed, the big fights that was supposed to be coming up, and I think one of them was Katie Taylor, and the other one was Amanda Serrano. Neither one of them is the answer to bail for her, and this fight that she getting ready to have, she gonna have to be on her P's and Q's, and she's been sitting down for a minute. She's been sitting down for a minute. So at least let's see. She got Derrick James in the corner. Let's see if he can keep that machine oiled and up and ready to go. And see if they can bring her out and see if she'll be ready to go. I don't know exactly how long the other young lady how active she is being. I got to do a little more homework on it, which I'll be doing all my homework on that fight tonight. But I'm looking for Carolyn to go ahead and handle her business and keep on her crusade and talking noise and throwing rocks at Alicia Baumgartner. Make her answer the bell, Caroline. Make her answer the bell.
Well, she got to focus on who she got in front of her right now, because she got a multiple-time national champion coming out the United States. The best thing going for her is that she only got 4 fights. So, she ain't all the way developed and shit, but it's Amelia Moore. She got a background up under her. And I always say a 3.5 from the United States especially can beat anybody. So she definitely got to be focused on this woman. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully she can get past her. And Baumgartner, she might go out there and get her ass whooped in the next fight. She fighting that elite Turhan woman that went out there and stopped Beatrice Ferreira, the woman that I liked a lot. And she got a right hand for you. You know what I'm saying? Like square business.
So it'll be a battle of the right hands.
She got a right hand for you. And that's going to be a tough fight. She ain't going to go out there and just lay down and kiss no ring. She going to go out there and fight back. And if she get to land in that right hand on Baumgartner, it ain't going to be good. You know what I'm saying? So both of them got some tough fights coming up.
I can't say that. Yeah, they do. But I'm looking for Caroline to be able to handle her business, step her game up, take advantage of the fact that she got more professional fights than the young lady that she's getting ready to fight, and look into that experience to get you over the finish line. With Baumgartner, all I can say is she hasn't been in the ring for a couple of minutes, and after she lands the right hand, if she's not successful with it every time she throws it, I have noticed that her bag isn't that deep. She don't really have too much more that she goes to. You know what I'm saying? And that can be a problem for her. I'm looking for it to be a problem with her the minute she steps into the ring with competition that's going to fight throughout, that knows how to nullify that right hand and make her have to dig into something else. Because I really don't see her throw. Once that right hand is gone, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like she gets to thinking about what to do. She starts moving around a lot, trying to figure out how she needs to do what she needs to do. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm looking. She might take a loss, and I might pick against her.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna bet something on Turhan. That's for damn sure. At 4-1 odds and shit, they got Mom going at -650 opening. Like, come on, man, that shit crazy as fuck.
So
They
think
expecting this woman.
Well, we have to see when that night come around, man. We have to see what happened when that night come around. But I know for sure I'm riding with Caroline. I got a feeling I'm gonna go against Alicia, not because I don't like her, just because I feel like if that right hand get nullified, she haven't been out there that often. I want to see with Derrick James if he has built anything more on her, other than what we've seen him with his fighters in the past. It's an open book for that fight right there. But like you said, I'm not getting too over the edge on Caroline because I believe that she's gonna be paying attention to who she got to fight, to Amelia Moore. I think she's gonna be paying attention. I don't think she's gonna go out there and think it's gonna be a cakewalk. I do believe that she gets locked in with whoever it is she has to fight. I haven't noticed her go out there and look like she didn't prepare for whoever it was she has to fight.
Yeah.
He said, "Don't make me pull that Springfield out on y'all Texans. Whatever, man. Whatever." And off of boxing real quick, but just for a hot second. So, my hometown, Gary, Indiana, right? And my family, I got a lot of family to stay up there. So, the officials up there really had really messed over Gary. They had a couple of storms that went through there. They governor or they mayor that allocated a lot of the money that was supposed to be for that city to outlying counties. And Gary was without power and water for 12 days.
Yeah.
12 days. My cousins, what I'm saying, by family being up there, one of my cousins, for wherever, however she stayed at, she stayed on part of the grid that didn't lose power. So she was able to call her sisters and her brothers over there, nephews and nieces. They all went and shared the same house. My brother, who passed away, his wife, she had a generator, but the generator got messed up, but she still had power. But her basement had flooded. Like I said, they got hit with some back-to-back storms. But the sad thing is that those people actually left them in the dark without lights and water. And then the stores were opening up, and how everybody walks, everybody's money is on cards. So why would the grocery store open up and say we're only accepting cash? So there was some slight looting going on and things like that. And I feel like that that's the perfect time for people to say, you see how they act, because Gary is predominantly a black city. So that's their chance to say, you see, they start looting and this and that. But I'm like, how would any neighborhood or any community act if they are out of water and power for 12 days and you don't have access to money because the banks aren't opening up and all this kind of stuff? You setting yourself up to be looted. So I feel like that was a pretty dumb thing, but my family is doing all right up there. My brother, I think we might try to get up there just to go check on the family and see how they're going. But they've been getting in touch with us, letting us know that everything's good and don't get too riled up and worried. They got it under control. So I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
He said, not even an hour ago, I was reading a story about a lady whose insulin went bad due to the outage. Some areas are still without power. That's retarded. That's crazy. That is crazy. Because man, you know what? I'm not even finna complain and fuss about all that. I've been doing enough fussing and complaining already with everything else. How your week been going, bro? It's some birthdays that's rolling around. I've been telling my daughter happy birthday every day this month. My oldest, because she's like, Dad, you know what? I'm celebrating my birthday for the whole month. So I'm like, you know what? Since you're celebrating for the whole month, every day that God bless me to wake up, I'm gonna hit the group chat and tell you happy birthday till the end of the month. So I've been, what day we on? Day 25, and her birthday is on the 1st. I have wished her happy birthday at least 25 times this month.
Yeah.
And she eating it up. I can tell she eating it up. The baby girl came over to visit the other day. And oh man, I was so excited. She got her own place. She got her a car. And she had texted that she had made her first car payment. And she was like, I did my big girl thing. I get my big girl pants on. She got a cat named Cosmos Orion. And
yeah.
But she was like, he bad. She like, Dad, he peeing everywhere. he because you know she believed in going to the vet. She even took him to the vet, and I guess a psychotherapist for cats or whatever, because they was like, oh, he doing behavioral peeing. He trying to prove something to y'all. Cause she like, I'm like, are y'all keeping the litter box clean? Cause usually you can take a cat, put a litter box down, and drop him in the litter box, and they trained. You don't have to keep doing stuff over and over with them like you got to do with a dog. A cat, you just take him there and say, this your spot, drop him in there, bam, they good to go. She said he used the box and doing some other stuff. So I had to ask her, like, are you guys keeping it clean? Because they will reject it if you're not keeping it clean. So I look up and they got one of those ball things, the automatic kitty cleaner thing. And she said he using it like crazy. So I was like, y'all probably was just moving too slow on cleaning this kitty litter box. So that was really on y'all. But yeah, she called him Grand Kitty. Or should I say I called him Grand Kitty.
Yeah.
He said, I might have missed the combo. Even though I knew Tio was going to win that fight, I seen people's man. Moody Trayweather, I was just disappointed in that fight. We did talk about it opening up out the gate, but I'm willing to turn back again because I feel like if Rolly had to just try, that could have been a lot better fight than what went on. Now Trey made some good some points about T.O. did make some changes, adjustments in the fight, in which case Rolly did not. But to me, it looked like Rolly was out there tentative because of the stories that we heard in sparring. Not to mention, we've seen him get dropped in two different sparring videos, once by T.O. And who was the other person that knocked him out? Or was they both from T.O.? But you ain't. Yeah, he got caught with the same kind of punch. Like when Tank knocked him out, the two guys that dropped him in sparring stopped him the same way. And then I think the friendship deal, like Trey X said, y'all can't be friends at the same weight class. It just won't work. Not if y'all ain't no killers. If y'all not no killers, it ain't gonna work. That kind of showed up in what's his name? The youngster. What's his name? I can't think of his name, and I'm high on the dude. Say again?
Abdullah Mason.
Yes, that friendship thing kind of showed up with him in his fight against
Albert Bell.
Yeah, I think the same thing showed up with them. So I'm thinking that if y'all gonna be friends in different weight classes. Don't be friends in the same weight class, because when it's time, if you have to be lined up against each other, if you're not 100% that dog, that friendship might cloud your judgment within the fight. And I think that showed up in the Rolly fight. He said Rolly could have won that fight in the 5th round. When he cut T.O. and had T.O. bleeding like a stuck pig, then he rocked him. When he rocked him with that punch that looked like T.O. almost broke his leg the way he leaned back. But you got to get to him. He stayed on his feet. And then when he wobbled him again at the end of the 3rd round, unless I'm saying it wrong, because I was so unentertained by that fight. I was mad at Rolly through the whole fight because I was like, damn, Rolly, you were not giving us anything. You changed trainers. Your trainer's sitting over there letting you know straight up, dude, you got to go ahead out here and fight. You talking about excuse me, you talking about you want to be known as one of the best fighters. You want to go have a good legacy and all this stuff. And right now, what you're doing is not it. This is not a way for people to remember you as a great fighter or one of the top fighters. This is not going to build your legacy. This is going to hurt it. I can't agree with you saying that they messed up by not getting him back in the ring after he won that belt. And who knows what the holdup was, because from what I understand, he himself was, when we were seeing him in interviews, he was talking about he was trying to get fights, but they just kept falling through. Which
the man is an overachiever, though. This motherfucker ain't start boxing until he was like 17 or some shit. Motherfucker was 28-10 as an amateur. He done over exceeded what he was supposed to do in boxing. He wasn't supposed to be shit. That motherfucker fought his way to a championship. He done knocked off Olympians, Anthony King, you dig it, Gidget, and all this type of shit, and went out there and beat Ryan. And So, in you know what I'm saying? Like the mother
Right.
but Chief, fuck all that other shit. His legacy and this and that. He wasn't even supposed to have a legacy. So he ain't
Well,
got
again,
to walk around with your head hanging low.
well, that's one thing I will give him. He don't seem to let stuff like that really bother him as far as hanging his head low. And when you point out the fact that he has overachieved coming from judo to box, and he started late. He has accomplished some things that you just would not say any other regular person like that would be able to go out there and just do. So he got a nice little book. I won't say his life is a movie, his fighting career is a movie like Wilder's could be, but he can get him a nice little book out of it. The accomplishments of the underdog, Rolly Romero. But
up out of here in a minute though. So let me go over these fights real quick, man. Before I go, I gotta go get on my money and shit.
Kick some ass tonight, bro.
Oh shit, that's always the goal. So the first fight we got Nikita Zoo tomorrow going against Ben Mahoney. Them Zoos, they don't lose in Australia. And it don't look like this is a time to be picking against them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
His opponent ain't got no deep amateur background and no shit like that. He probably go out there and get his ass whooped. But anything can happen in boxing. Callum Peters is back in the ring. We just talked about this motherfucker like 3 weeks ago or some shit. He back in the ring against a guy that he got. They had a rivalry in the amateurs and shit. His name is Blake Wells. He a pretty tough guy too. Got a little amateur background. He was fighting for the Australian national championships and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna go ahead and lock it up. This gonna be like at 3-4 o'clock in the morning because they're gonna be fighting in Australia Wednesday morning. You know what I'm saying? So then on Friday we got this Corey Marksman. He getting back up in there. He took a lot. He had a draw against this one motherfucker. I can't even think of his name. But he a solid little fighter. He got a little background to him. He going against a guy that got a little background to him too, and he gonna come fight back a little bit. It's something about this Christian Barreto dude though that I can't remember what it was, but it was something about him. But we also got Alex Bray. He like a blue chip type prospect. He going against this Travius Ingram. I just seen the motherfucker fight before. He like a physically imposing type of guy, but he ain't got the deep amateur background like Bray. Got to go with Bray. Talked about Moses E. Thomas and Philip Ergovich. This is an interesting fight right here with this. That's the fight of the weekend too. Moses E. Thomas versus Philip Ergovich, fight of the weekend. Sam Noakes versus Dennis Berentius. That's an interesting fight. You say something?
Yeah, I said Noakes.
Yeah, Sam Noakes, that motherfucker tough as fuck. He the one that went the distance against Abdullah Mason. He was taking punches from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. He didn't hardly ever stumble or wobble or get hurt or nothing. He was just tough in that motherfucker. That was one of the toughest performances I've seen in a real long time. He going against Dennis Berentius, who's coming off a major layoff. He ain't fought since he got stopped in 4 rounds by Keyshawn Davis. He did beat Emmanuel Navarrete by split decision to win that title and shit. So he got some ability to him. He a little bit older. He was like 36 when he had fought against Navarrete. So I think he's about 37 now. Olympic silver medalist. I think he also won a silver medal at the AIBA World Championships. But he is a pretty sizable underdog going against Sam Noakes, who only in the amateurs, he performed on the national level in England. He wasn't on no international shit like Berentius. You know what I'm saying? So according to my scale, I should be taking Dennis Berentius, but I think I'm gonna go with Sam Noakes. I might live to regret it. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker Berentius might go out there and show me something. But Sam Noakes, it just seemed like he's out with the old in with the new. This motherfucker Berentius is old and shit. I didn't like his performance against Keyshawn, but I do got to say, Sam Noakes ain't Keyshawn.
Right.
That ain't Keyshawn. This is something totally different. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker Berentius might be able to handle himself with this motherfucker Sam Noakes. You know what I'm saying? I might have to give my guy a chance, man. We got a bona fide 4.5 going against a UK 3.5.
And we giving him a lot of props right now because he was able to stand so strong against Abdullah Mason, like you said, getting touched from put the crown of his head to the sole of his feet.
Yeah, and he was coming back with something too. He was throwing punches back. He ain't no punk. And he got a high knockout percentage. He knocking motherfuckers out. And Barincic, like he got that deep amateur background and all that, but his style ain't pretty. Like when you look at it, that shit look raggedy. It look ugly. You know what I'm saying? He don't even look like a bona fide 4.5 been whooping ass all over the world, globe trotting. This motherfucker really look drunk almost when he fight sometimes. But against Navarrete, it was effective. I was talking about betting the fight, then I looked at the tape and said, man, this motherfucker Barincic ain't got nothing. Yasser said, fuck it, man, we betting that motherfucker anyway. Yasser put the bet down. We ended up winning the bet. We took Barincic by decision, and he went out there and beat that motherfucker. We got like 6-1 odds, or 7-1 odds, or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But with the eye test, that Barincic shit don't look good with the eye test, and that's really what's giving me problems. I would love to take Barincic, man. This a bona fide 4.5, but his style look trash. It look ugly. So
that might be the deciding factor. I just was saying, remember, that awkward ass dude going against somebody who boxes. That awkwardness might be just enough to throw the boxer off, enough to get him out of this game, just to get that guy the edge.
Yeah, but also if I combine the layoff, he ain't fought in like 15, 17 months or some shit like that.
Oh shit. No.
Yeah, it's been a pretty long time. I think he fought like last February or some shit like that. It might be like 16 months. Some shit like that, man. I can't remember exactly, but it's been a while since he's been in the ring. So it's gonna be hard for me to pick him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like the next fight, we got this Constantine Ursul. That's like another one of them British prospects and shit. He got a deep amateur background. He going against this Ben Vaughn guy. He got a little amateur background to him too. He got a little toughness to him. You know what I'm saying? So then this another interesting one right here. Alois Yumbi versus Mike Perez. Alois Yumbi is a guy from the UK that got some real good power. He be able to knocking motherfuckers out. I had bet against him one time. I took this guy named Royce Cole Berardi or something like that. I think he was from Spain or one of them countries, but he had fought at the AIBA World Championships. He was a 4. He went out there and took a decision loss to this Yumbi guy. You know what I'm saying? So the Yumbi guy, he can fight, but he coming off a layoff. He ain't fought like a year. He going against a veteran in the game, and Mike Perez. Y'all know he would fight back in the day and shit with the heavyweights, and then he dropped down to cruiserweight and kind of had a resurgence in his career. But he was just too small for them guys at heavyweight. Like he losing to Bye Jennings and shit like that. I think he had went out there and fought that Povetkin, Alexander Povetkin. I think he got stopped in like 1 round against him or some shit like that. Some other guys he had some trouble with, but at cruiserweight he a tougher challenge. Now he is 40 years old, southpaw. Definitely got the advantage on the scale. He like a 4.5 on the scale. You know what I'm saying? He a bad motherfucker. And he been active too. Even though he's 40, he been active. I want to say out with the old in with the new. You know, take Yumbi, but this guy got so much more pedigree than Yumbi, and the motherfucker been active. Yumbi been inactive. It's a tough one to pick right here. I'm like my boy Yasser say, I'm in 2 minds about this one. So it's gonna take me a little time before I make my mind up on what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Guido Villanello back in the mix against this Moses Jolly. I don't think he got nothing, even though he undefeated. Nelson Heisa, that name sound familiar, but I think he got an amateur background. I got to go do my homework on him, but something about that name is ringing a little bit of bell. I just can't get it together. Chantel Cameron and Michaela Mayer, we talked about that. Curlin the Bar and Amelia Moore, we talked about that. Terry Harper back in the mix, like you said, against this Miranda Reyes. This guy Brandon Moore, he back in the ring against Bye Jennings. So we got the old schools up in the ring. He like 41, 42 years old or some shit. This is definitely out with the old in with the new type of fight for me. Brandon Moore, he a solid guy. Got a little amateur background behind him. We done picked him on the Champ Raw several times. I think he should go out there and be too much for Bye Jennings, but you never know though. Mauricio Lora coming fighting against Carlos Ornelas. They want Lora back in the mix, so they're gonna probably get him a showcase fight. He should go out there and stop this guy. This another interesting one right here. Lester Martinez versus Luca Planches. 2 guys with deep amateur backgrounds and shit. Lester Martinez has been tested. He got tested against Christian and Billy. Luca Planches hasn't had that type of test yet, but I do like his amateur background. Lester Martinez over there with Bo Mac now. He been training with Terrence Crawford and all that kind of shit. So he probably been soaking up game over there. You know what I'm saying? Salute to him too for even being over there. I think he's from Argentina or some shit.
Oh wow.
Normally they don't even fuck with us like that, but shit, he like shit. I'm trying to learn something. You know what I'm saying? But that's
Right.
gonna be a good fight right there for sure. Najee Lopez versus Juan Carrillo is another very interesting fight. You know what I'm saying? And Juan Carrillo like a bona fide 4.5. You know what I'm saying? He winning them bronze medals and shit in these big international tournaments, and he going against Najee Lopez, one of them. I guess we could say blue chip type of prospects for the United States. He went in the U.S. World Championships and National Golden Gloves and all that kind of shit. He been tested too. He fought this motherfucker named Manuel Gallegos. He had knocked off Khalil Cole. This is a motherfucking Latino fighter that's tall, got long arms, and he tough as fuck. He gonna come throw punches and bunches. He trying to put hands on you. And he was getting with Najee Lopez a little bit, especially early in that fight. But like Max Kellerman say, class tells over time. And as time went, Najee Lopez started chopping him down and breaking him down. I like his composure too. You know what I'm saying? Like when the bullets is flying at him, you could just see that this is like another day in the office. This is just part of my job description. There ain't no need to overreact. Ain't no need to get out of position. Ain't no need to make a man miss by a mile. We'll make a miss by an inch. We'll parry and counter. We'll slip and counter. We just gonna keep everything real tight, real smooth. You know what I'm saying? Even when he get hurt, he's still able to keep his composure. I like that about him. I saw that in the Gallegos fight. So he got a tough test coming though. This Juan Carrillo, he like a tall guy. He about 6'3.5" or something like that. I don't know what the reach is, but the reach look kind of long though. One thing about him though, he stand up straight and he a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? So he stand up real straight and kind of keep his chin in the air a little bit, but he stepping to you behind a hard jab and he throwing them left hands real strong. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about him though, he seemed like a guy that like to set you up with the lead hand and hurt you with the backhand. He ain't necessarily a two-fisted puncher. Now he do got a little check hook there where he can step back and hit you with the check hook, or he can step off the line and hit you with the check hook from the southpaw stance, and it do look pretty. But for the most part, he ain't trying to hurt you with the right hand, his lead hand. He's trying to hurt you with that southpaw left hand. That's gonna be a very interesting matchup, man. To me, I think that shit might can go either way. I'm gonna have to lean towards Najee Lopez, though. You know what I'm saying? So, what's also another interesting one? There's Welger Maduro against Carlos Campos. That's kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying? The last one, Luis Torres versus Jordan White. That's an interesting one too. This is the last one. Luis Torres, he coming off a layoff. He done lost against a scrub before. I don't remember his name. Jordan White is a disappointing type of fighter. Like he done got some good wins in the past and shit, but his last fight he went out there and lost to the Mexican with three names that fought against Schofield, Huron, damn, something Tiez Huron or some shit like that. I can't remember his name. Mexican with three names, and he very tough. But he went out there and beat Jordan White, and he beat him by some a margin. It wasn't like a 1-point victory. Like he was winning by like 5-6 points on the scorecards and shit. Like it was a solid victory that he got over Jordan White. That was very disappointing to see that shit with the pedigree that Jordan White has. National championships and all this type of shit, you know what I'm saying? But he the underdog against this Luis Torres, and to me, it don't make sense. This motherfucker, Luis Torres, I don't see nothing special about him, and plus the motherfucker, he took a loss to a scrub, and he also coming off a layoff. Jordan White ain't coming off no layoff. And he got the pedigree behind him, and he got some nice power and all that type of shit. So I think Jordan White should go out there and whoop this motherfucker. This is a piss or get off the pot type situation, or shit, or get off the pot, whatever I'm supposed to say, situation for this man. You need to go out here and whoop Luis Torres, and we don't need to hear nothing else about you. Square business. But that's what we got coming up this weekend. I'm going to go ahead and get out the way. Salute to everybody off in the chat and shit, man. I'm going to go down here and go play some poker and try to go out here and unask these motherfuckers for a few of these blues. You know,
ask them all for their money real politely, like.
real polite, like you know what I'm saying? But
I'll
yeah,
politely take that stack right there. Thank you very much, sir.
yeah. I ain't gotta have it all. Just give me my little portion, and I go and get out the way. You know what I'm saying? But salute to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you letting me get on the panel and chop it up about boxing and get that off about the schedule and all that type of shit. Y'all get your Channel Ross picks in. I saw the notification when my boy Eric Carr got his in, so I'm gonna get them into the Channel Ross. I ain't gonna talk y'all to death. Appreciate you. I'm gonna get with you. Salute.
Peace. Salute. Eric also, I'm gonna need to cop that Cantor WNBA jersey if he get drafted. Man, stop. They cutting up. They cutting up for real. I see you, Moody Treyweather. He said Rolly landed a stiff jab and almost dropped him. Rolly slipped a punch and landed a beautiful right that wobbled him. He never mashed on the gas. I was saying the same thing, bro. He didn't mash on the gas. I think the friendship got in the way. And I think in the back of his mind, by them sparring as much as they have sparred, they knowing each other like they did, I think that also placed doubt in Rolly's mind, which kept him from just going after it. You know, I don't know what Rolly is possible, what the possibilities are for him right now, because I think he just really screwed off a great opportunity. I really think he screwed off a great opportunity. And getting to you, Eric Carr, with that Kansas, you really, bro? Really? Now, first off, you know, they trying to go, this is where I look at it. They're trying to pick at the WNBA rule. And, you know, one, you want to go into the league as a man and claiming, oh, I identify a certain way. I think that's pretty tacky. You know, I just think it's a tacky move. You know what I'm saying? There's a league made for you. There is a league made for you. If you couldn't cut it, that's your fault. But to say, you know, you can go and play with the women and you can dominate and all this kind of stuff, to me, that's just a weak cop-out. You know, that's like a bully that got bullied in school all the time and then go and get a police job and then start bullying. You feel me? So, no, I think that's crazy. It's him and some other guy. I can't think of the other guy's name right now, but I think that's real crazy that they trying to pull something like that. And it just don't make sense. It just don't make sense at all. Hyphy, I see that Angel Reese almost had a triple-double the other day. Am I tripping or not? Am I tripping or am I not? And I seen Katie, what's her name? Katie Clark? What's the Clark girl name that everybody always talking about? I see she had a pretty decent game the other day too. But that young lady with the afro, with the glasses, she's a beast. She be cutting up. Don't know her name, but I seen her hooping. That girl can ball. She can pass. She can dribble. She can score. She fast. She agile. She got all the, and she got a great temperament. You know what I'm saying? She got that hard nose. She got that hard mind about playing basketball where she just don't lay it down for nobody. What's her name? Caitlin Clark. She did a good job the other day. But what's the sister's name with the glasses? She got a little afro. She bright skinned. Olivia Miles. That girl can ball, man. That girl is impressive. And if she can stay healthy and not get hurt, and she stay on the trajectory that she's on, she gonna cause some problems for a long time. Especially if they surround her with some players with like-minded attitudes and they can ball. You know what I'm saying? Just having the attitude to fit, you got to have the skills to also go with it. That part for sure. That part for sure. Man, every time she plays Las Vegas, she puts on the show. I feel you on that. You know, you got some players that certain teams just set them off. You know what I'm saying? You got some boxers, they fight in certain places, just set them off. Football teams go and play certain teams, it just set them off. It's just that's just the nature of the beast. It's like that in every sport. Certain players have certain people or certain teams that just press their buttons the wrong way, and they just want to make them pay. Might have got skipped over in the draft, and they got an attitude about that. Might got traded. There's no telling of what could have been, what it could be, but certain players go up against certain teams, and they make them pay, and they make them pay big all the time. All the time. Shoot, give me a second. I got to grab me a drink. Y'all think of some questions for me. Think of some more something that y'all seen in the fights last week. Man, I can't wait for to see Caroline Dubois fight. I hope she put on a great showing, but I can't say it enough. I'm super excited for Chantel Cameron and Michaela Mayer. I'm super excited about those two fights. Two fighters coming up. I'll be right back. I'm finna grab me something to drink. Y'all hold it down.
We smooth with that. Niggas get to tripping on the block, we cool with that. If you really got a problem, we can deal with that. But don't be crying to you people when we bring shit back. We smooth with that. Niggas get to tripping on the block, we cool with that. If you really got a problem, we can deal with that. But don't be crying to you people when we bring shit back.
I spit real to the bullshit. Average niggas can't handle that. It's not my fault they fuck niggas.
This nigga burning candles black? The fuck is that? Who these niggas trying to be? Whatever you do, keep them niggas away from me.
And I'ma leave it there. Now back to the realest shit. Big E dropping that heat. Where you been with this? The apex predator shit coming together, bro. If you want to step to this shit, reset your schedule. Ain't none of your bets hedgeable. Woo! Ain't none of your words legible. When I catch you with this bat, your legs won't be leggable. You'll be in the wheelchair, moving like vegetables. But not the kind you eat, the kind you get rewarded with for fucking around in the streets. Yeah, bitch, I'm the la-di-da. Step through, black Adidas. It's a shame that he didn't see the lime green dot. Lit his ass like a suite of the finest lot. Got him slipping at the light about 9 o'clock. Nigga never got a chance to text his moms and pop.
I'm almost home.
We smooth with that. Niggas get to tripping on the block, we cool with that. If you really got a problem, we can deal with that. But don't be crying to you people when we bring shit back. We smooth with that. Niggas get to tripping on the block, we cool with that. If you really got...
Okay, I'm back up in here. What I miss? He said fantasy matchup, Vegas versus Houston Comets. Who you got? Okay. Y'all too kind. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Wait, Big E in the house? Big E in the house? Big Bro in the house? Nah, Big Bro ain't in the house. That's EL on that song. That's EL. That's Big ZD. That's ZD in the house. I see you, Sweet Caroline. You talking about the old Houston Comets? Are we doing fantasy matchup like that with the old Houston Comets in Vegas? Cheryl Swoops Houston Comets, or what's the other lady's name? Cynthia Cooper, who Houston Comets. You know what I'm saying? Because Cynthia Cooper then was balling, man. They was balling straight up out the gate. But this young group go, I think they go hard. Yeah, the verse that was EL. That was EL. Big E not on that song. He not on that one. With Cooper. Yeah, I think it would be a great matchup. That's with the young girl we're talking about, right? With the Afro, Olivia. If she's playing, I think she's gonna give. I think she has the ability. And that's if we placing them, I guess you say her prime and Cynthia Cooper's prime. I still think Olivia Miles might have the edge as far as ball control and getting her teammates involved. But Cynthia Cooper at the same time, she was no punk either. Yeah, that would be a good debate. to match up those two teams in a fantasy situation to actually guess or think who you might who you might pick to win. And I want to apologize to y'all because I know it seemed like I've been burning through my boxing stuff kind of quick, but at the same time, you guys know I've been on that Nolan Wells situation. Also, also with the Carmelo Anthony situation, you know that they got rid of the judge that presided over his case. They got him taken off of the case, but at the same time, they still denied him to get another trial. And that's going to seem strange. And if you look at it, it's going to ring a loud bell for the simple reason, the judge, instead of him confirming what the jury said, he went a step further and said he think they got it right, which no judge should do that, which, his lawyers are smart enough. You can point out that there's a bias there with that judge, not only to mention the gentleman's agreement that was made with the district attorney and the defense attorneys about Carmelo not testifying and things of that nature. And then when you go and find out even deeper situations, like out of the two guys, the young men, Carmelo Anthony, who's actually, people hung him on his text. They want to say, oh, you heard what he said in his text, which, a lot of people say that didn't help him. But at the same time, you hear words spoken, but you didn't see that manifested in his life. He wasn't in trouble for none of the kind of stuff that he talked. I think what it was is one of those situations where a person is talking big, talking bad, trying to, selling wolf tickets. Selling wolf tickets and not really bagging that kind of stuff up. I think he was more talk than anything else. But then when you look at the two gentlemen that stepped to him and one that got killed, they was kind of some little terrors. And this is not me saying that. This is what documents and history is showing. This boy's been, the one that got killed, who got unalived, had been in trouble a lot. He was a bully, all kind of things. So I'm looking for his lawyers to push for possibly an appeal or something like that. We have to just keep an eye on it. But I want to let you guys know that's why it seems like that I jump right into the boxing and get it out the way because I've been concentrating so much on those situations. How in the world are we having all these accidental deaths, all these people being found hanging like strange fruit from trees in Mississippi and Carolina, stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have saw that that a group of Caucasian men got caught trying to hang somebody. They got caught, and it's crazy. He said, that's the righteous path. I respect it. And it's just crazy. Oh, we got, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one of my favorite people to talk to. We got Hype in the building. Give him a round of applause. We got to keep it hype. We got it hype for our brother named Hype. What's going on with you, bro? How things going? Well, they really love the Hype tonight. Extended version of hand clapping, cheering, and whistles. What's going on, bro? How you doing? He'll get his mic together in a second. But I've been having people coming at me because of the questions that I've been asking about Nolan Ryan. And well, let me go back to the people. This group of men got caught trying to hang somebody, and they telling the people that called them, y'all need to get out of here and mind your own business, which I'm glad that they showed up and foiled this situation. But man, this is 2026 and people are still running around doing it. And it make you wonder what could be emboldening these folks so much to think that they one can do it and two get away with it. It's totally insane. and sad. And the people that's in power, they're not doing anything. And for the most part, I've been speaking about these situations. I've tried to speak to them in a situation where it's right or wrong, law and lawlessness, without putting race into it. And a lot of people was coming to my channel, when I talk about Northern Wales, and that's one of the first things they start opening up on. And I let them know, one, you can't argue with what I'm saying or the questions that I'm asking, because every question that I've asked is predicated in the facts or predicated on the comments or the statements that these young men have made and given themselves. I'm starting to see a lot of people coming up, with different pictures and stuff like that. But you do have to ask, one, the story starts off with 4 young men talking about, their friend Nolan Wales was they left him behind. Salute to D-Lo 404 Boxing, my brother who helps you think and talk outside the box when it comes to boxing. D-Lo, I'm kind of going into the situation, talking about Carmelo Anthony, the white man that got caught trying to hang somebody in Carolina. They got foiled by another group of people, and the Nolan Wales situation, which y'all know I've been doing a series of asking questions and keep on asking questions till we find out something. Now I want you guys and anybody that checks me out, because I got to thank all the people that came and helped me ask questions. Don't be surprised, because throughout my looking of and studying and looking through stuff like that, I have found out that supposedly Mississippi is looking at Nolan Wales' case as a mysterious death or something. I can't remember the exact words that they used, but let me just go on and be real. I feel like if they come out and say that it was a murder, that what they're going to do, instead of, because they haven't, nobody's been named as a suspect or anything like that. It's still hypothetical and all this kind of stuff. But don't be surprised if they rule it as something other than an accidental drowning, and then blanket the situation, and in the end come up and turn it into a cold case. Like, we can't find out who did it or what like that. And then that way it'd be like, well, at least we gave y'all what y'all was looking for, but we couldn't find the people. I did ask this question, because I found out the Bills pump that they was talking about stopped working, which, a Bills pump isn't working and the boat's taking on water. So I asked this question because I found a young lady who said she lived on a boat. I listened to her video. She lives on a boat. She took us through the process of what a Bills pump does. If water starts coming on a boat, it has a floater switch. That switch raises up. It starts pumping out water. She turned off the power to the Bills pump and was like, you see that? Just because the Bills pump isn't pumping doesn't mean water starts flowing onto the boat. So I asked this question, and, I'm sure a lot of people, detractors, are going to come and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, because I get a lot of that. But you guys took a boat that was supposedly taking on water, and you surrounded by a whole bunch of other people with boats. And you thought that the safest thing to do was to take your boat into deeper water, away from all these other people that have boats, which I'm sure somebody knew how to deal with the bilge pump, if that's really what was going on. Because you have to ask yourself, if the bilge pump stopped working and you say the boat was taking on water, what was causing the boat to take on water? Why was the boat taking on water? And if you're already getting towed because your friend is towing you, what was the purpose of calling CTO? Why did your grandfather call CTO simultaneously while you were making the phone call? And what made you, because it sounded kind of urgent to me when the dispatcher said, do you need the Coast Guard? Oh, no, we don't need them. You quickly went into that. So my question is, what was the cause of the water coming onto the boat? How did you stop it? Who fixed it? So that's a question that they haven't been asked. And I would love to hear that question be asked to them. What exactly was leaking on your boat? Because we know the bilge pump wasn't working, but what exactly was wrong that water was coming onto the boat? And what made you make the move to take the boat away? Now, you guys said it was hundreds of people out there. So I'm going to go with what they said, hundreds of people out there. There are hundreds of people out there, and you thought the smartest thing to do was to take yourself and your vessel into deeper water away from numbers. And when I say numbers, I mean all of the other people that had boats out there. I'm pretty sure out of all those people, somebody knew how to help. Because I'm sure if this situation has occurred, I'm pretty sure it's occurred more than once, and not with just you, but with other people on their boats. And I'm sure that you could have made, you could have talked to somebody, because I'm sure you didn't just park your boat in the midst of some people that you didn't know. Usually when people show up to places and everybody knows that they're going, they kind of park, naturally you park around people that you know. You anchor your boat around people that you know. You tie off your boat with other people that you know. And it just seems strange to me. Your bilge pump stopped working, but they never said exactly what was the cause of the leak. They never said how the leak was fixed. It was just, they made the bilge pump statement, and everybody went with that. Everybody went with that. It's basically called a sump pump in any other application. I feel you on that. But when they said it wasn't working and the boat was taking on water, why was the boat taking on water? And he said, yeah, the bilge pump, D'Lo said the bilge pump only has to work if the boat is taking on water. So the question is, for me, is how was the boat taking on water? Where was this water coming from? Apparently it wasn't coming on in such a fast and furious amount, because when she asked you how deep the water was, your reaction was, what? I don't know. We just going down. You don't know how fast the water. Anybody, hey, how fast y'all sinking? How bad is it? Oh, water's coming in here crazy. We need somebody out here quick. Oh, it's not coming in that bad. These are something that, you guys go out to this, y'all go boating a lot. I'm sure y'all show pictures of fishing, or y'all been fishing and y'all had a nice catch of fish on the deck and all kinds of stuff. So you guys are not rookies when it comes to these boats. So why was your boat taking on water? I would love someone to ask that question. Why and how was your boat taking on water? And what did you guys do to stop it? Because if you ask me, how worried were you about this water coming onto your boat if you were willing to tow it out into deeper water and away from people that could, away from a whole bunch of people that could lend a hand? So, like I said, don't be surprised if Mississippi's finest don't pull together and give us a cold case when it's all said and done. Just don't. We don't need to get deflated and give in 2026. No, we're not giving in, but when things that happen, you do an autopsy. You don't give the other medical examiner what they need in order for them to get a complete overlook of what happened. You hold back things. At one point, I could have swore that I heard in the earlier reports when this first kicked off that the grandparents was out of town, and now it's being rumored that they were there on Horn Island. The judge was there on Horn Island, and her own statement that she wrote up, her and her husband weren't on Horn Island. And I got that statement. I think I got that statement letter from Ashley Cole. I'm gonna show it to you. I got that. That she wrote, that she put that thing out on Facebook or whatever it was. Let me see video image file right here. Hold on. Ashley Cole. Bam, right here. I got this statement. That's not it. This statement right here. It says, my children, let me see. Nolan death somewhere on here. If I'm remembering right, because I'm going off from memory. My husband and I were not at Horn Island at any point on the 4th of July. Right there where you guys see my pointer. It's right there. So, but there's rumors now circulating that she was on Horn Island. Now I know the other mother, the birth mother, was on Horn Island, but if there's any truth to Judge Cole being on Horn Island, what do you say about that? You know what I'm saying? How you got a statement that right here, unless you're gonna say somebody else typed it up. But there it is. It's just a lot of stuff. And this is a judge who, in my opinion, I think, one, the people that are on this case should not be on this case. I think this case should be put into the hands of the FBI. But, Cash Patel, he sucks, so you can't really be sure about what's going. He said they were more concerned about keeping their secret than staying afloat. I believe you on that. One person even came to my page and was like, you need to be quiet because, these boys could sue you. Sue me for what? Repeating what they said? Be real with you. When I ask my questions, this is to let you in on why you never hear me say their name. Because when I ask the questions that's based on what they said, people automatically know who I'm talking about. They automatically plug the names in themselves. The ones that hate that we're asking questions come on and say, oh, you're saying such and so said this. Well, I didn't say that person said it. I just put out what they said. And because you know exactly who I'm talking about, then that means you know that they said it too. You heard them say it too. So coming on here trying to take up and argue with me about what they said is just stupid. And, I'm willing to tell you, when it comes down to something like this, I'll get down with you. It don't bother me at all. I got a thick skin. But I am going to keep on asking questions until Mississippi decides to take it into a grand jury. My fear about the grand jury was because I've heard it so many times. And I think they should change this law. I don't think going to a grand jury should be shrouded in secrecy. Because we've heard before of other DAs that went to a grand jury, and I'm talking recently in some cases that was going on with Congress and stuff. When they were mixed up with some stuff, they had cases that went in front of the grand jury, and the DA did not give all of the evidence. They held some stuff back. The stuff they gave them painted a different picture of what went on, and the grand jury gave them a favorable decision. I believe, the CETO call that everybody went crazy on it. I can't remember the young lady, lady's name, who's a video expert who brought the voices up. They trying to say that it's fake. One of the young men said, "Oh, that video people are lying because they saying they heard Nolan screaming on it." I'm like, nobody ever said that they heard Nolan screaming on that. But because you're trying to defend something that's ringing in my opinion, is ringing so close to home, you're trying to defend it that they putting their feet in their mouth. And I think this Brandon Tatum guy, who they went and did the interview with first, that's where they messed up at. I think if they had said what they said and shut up about it, that would have left the internet and the people just asking questions and not being able to pick apart everything they said. But once people start picking apart what they first came out and said, and it didn't hurt, it didn't help the situation that the sheriff popped up the same day that the body was found and deemed it an accidental drowning without an investigation. And so many people telling me, oh, you should be quiet because you should wait for the investigation, but yet you saying he drowned accidentally. Then they start saying he was drunk. But the question I would have about him being drunk is, how many times have Nolan ever been drunk? How many times have you witnessed this man stupid drunk like y'all hammered like y'all trying to say he was. You know, was this part of his routine? Was he one of those guys that got drunk on a regularly, or did he get drunk every time y'all went to Horn Island to celebrate whatever it was that y'all would go out to celebrate, because y'all go out there all the time? So y'all went from him being the guy that was always the one that was trying to knock down conflict to him being stone drunk. And then they come up with two witnesses, they claim, two credible witnesses that saw Nolan on the island at 6 o'clock. Out of hundreds of people, y'all can only find two people that come forward. But my thing about it is, they say they went out there with about 20 or 30 people. I believe that's the number that these young men say they went out there with. But you notice the only ones that we're hearing from are the ones that were supposedly on the boat. Nobody else is saying anything. Nobody. They not saying we didn't see Nolan. They not saying we did see Nolan. They are not saying anything at all. And nobody finds that strange. Nobody. All these people eyes, and this young man, nobody has claimed to see him stumbling around drunk, being belligerent, falling down over himself. Nobody has came out and said that I seen him like that. We first hear about him being his alcohol intake being high is by the people who reported him missing, and that's the people that was on the boat with him. Then you find out that certain names are on the documents or the calls that was going in to tell about him. And you wonder, why would that person's name be on there? You know, you weren't around. Why is the grandfather's name on there? Why is there allegedly, I don't know if it's authenticated, but why is there a dispatch call with the police talking about going to the judge's house the night of? Why would they be going to the judge's house when it was Nolan Wales' mom who was needing the police? The young man said that he called the mom to tell her she had the phone, but then when you listen to the conversation, he said that he called her and, you know, he was like, Nolan didn't come back with us. And she was like, his phone is saying that he's at the house with y'all. Oh, well, we have his phone. He left his phone with us. So you didn't call to tell her you had his phone. You actually said you started off by the conversation started off by saying, have you heard from Nolan? And listening to the mom give her conversation, her interview, I can't say listening to both of them, the conversation went along the lines of, where's Nolan? I mean, man, have you heard from Nolan? No, I haven't heard from Nolan. His phone said he's with you guys. And then you say, oh, we have his phone. This Katie girl situation, they kept saying some girl, like they didn't know who she was when they do know who she is. You know, all this, oh, me and my buddies. When you know everybody that was around, you know everybody that was on the boat. But yeah, you calling them my buddies, and it's like you omitting their names because you're trying to cover something. I don't know what you're trying to cover, because when this first started, one of the things I said was, hey, if it was an accident, people and the parents, I believe, would be able to accept the fact that you say, hey, this is what happened. It was an accident. There it is. But this story that you guys came up with, you know, you saw him at 3, but you was leaving at 4, and you saw him, you know, telling him to get on the boat at 4. Why are you having other people? Why are you trying to get him to get on the boat if the boat's sinking? Why are you taking the boat further away from the island if the boat is sinking? None of that makes sense. That's the stupidest. That's the stupidest stuff I've heard. And anybody that's claiming that Nolan drowned because he couldn't swim or he was drunk and he couldn't swim, all of y'all are stupid too for saying that, and then turning around and letting it come out your mouth here. Oh, y'all can't accuse these boys because the investigation hasn't come out yet. So how do you say he was drunk and he drowned like that? He said they are silent to keep from incriminating themselves, but also don't want to voluntarily lie and become part of the story. Well, the thing that's killing them is stuff that they put on their Facebook and stuff like that is crazy. And something that did make sense, which I didn't pay attention until a young man came out and said it. When the mom said his stuff was erased off this man's phone because she didn't see his snaps. You know, they tried to say, well, you know, he didn't do any snapping or whatever. Whatever the lie was they told, this young man came on and said, and I can almost vouch for this because Cash App does it, and a couple of the other cards that I mess with do it. They sent me a 4th of July thing, and this man said Snapchat sends out 4th of July, you know, happy 4th of July, yada, yada, this, yada, yada, that. Where was his 4th of July snap that they sent him? Why was that missing? So it's a lot of things that's going on. Like I said, I'm going to keep on asking questions. I've had a lot of people come on, you know, on my channel and add to the questions that I have been asking, which made me think a lot deeper about situations, which brought me to the point of y'all left out of the safety of numbers to go into deeper water. Your bilge pump wasn't working, but that doesn't automatically mean that the boat is taking on water. So what was wrong with the boat that it was taking on water? Somebody needs to ask them that. What exactly was wrong? What was wrong with that boat? Why was it taking on water? How'd y'all fix it? Who fixed it? But I am going to say that whatever happens, I hope whoever do it get caught. And I hope God, if you believe in God, karma, the universe, whatever you believe, I hope whatever happens, the truth comes out and it comes out loud. I hope it comes out with a deafening ring to it, where it shines a light so bright that people have to look at it and they won't be able to argue semantics or whatever about it. They won't be able to argue that. They'll just have to look at it and be like, damn. Now, if they're innocent, so be it. But I'm going to be honest, how many people really believe they're innocent? That they know nothing of what happened. They absolutely know nothing. And that's the part that I think that is agitating the mom, because I'm like, I've watched these boys do interviews and talking and everything. And in my opinion, I haven't seen anybody look like they were sad or hurt that this young man is dead. What I have seen was defensiveness, being upset. You know, y'all going on crusades talking about suing people and you're mad and you're talking about defamation and all this kind of stuff. But I haven't seen nobody out of this group really seem like they were genuinely hurt about Nolan Wells being gone. Not one of them. They claiming that they victims, people are picking on them, this and that. But I'm like, your friend that was like a brother to you. I know if something happened to my brother, he don't even have to be unalive. He could just have a situation in life with another person that hurts him, and that would hurt me. Just because if something happened with Big E, we not blood, but that's my brother. I love Big E. If something, when things happen with Big E that saddened him, it saddened me. Now, this guy is a guy that y'all claim to love like a brother, and he's gone forever. He's never coming back. And I haven't seen a tear, a choke up, a thought of happy times that make you just want to cry when you're speaking about it. Nothing. But like I said, as long as they talk and they put out stuff that don't make sense to me, I'm going to come back. I'm going to ask questions. And like I said, people have been asking questions and making me go back and think about it and say, damn, that was a good ass question. They added to my question, and I'm bringing it back to y'all. I'm not going to hold y'all up because there's a movie that Obese told me that I should watch with my wife. So I'm going to do some movie night with her. If y'all checked out any of the movies I told y'all about, I think y'all let me know. I ain't gonna say nothing about the Spider-Man because I know Eric R was like, I don't think he watched it yet. But I'm gonna stay strong. A thing that kind of saddened me a little bit. I got a lot more subscribers. Y'all seen my subscriber count went up. But that's not the way I wanted to get it. I didn't want to get it off of a sad situation that's going on with Nolan Wells. The young lady that was found like strange fruit in a tree that they had to go and get her down with a fire truck ladder. They tried to say no foul play. So y'all trying to tell me that this 29-year-old climbed up a tree so high and turned herself into strange fruit. She got herself up to a point where the only way to get her down was from a fire truck ladder. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? That's crazy. So when people say certain things don't still exist in the United States, then you know they're lying. And if you subscribe to that, then you're only fooling yourself. I do understand certain families in Mississippi. I can say I understand certain people being scared and not wanting to say something because we have the luxury of being able to speak and not worrying about anything happening to us because we don't live there. But for those that live there, and we know that all the people with power are all friends and running buddies. The governor is friends with the sheriff is friends with the judge is friends with the DA is friends with the coroner, the medical examiner. So honestly, anything could happen to you out there in a circle of that, and it be swept up under the rug. And your family members are pushed into a situation that they damned if they do say something because something could happen to them. And they damned if they don't say something because the light is shined on this small town and the world is looking at them saying, why won't you say anything? But just remember, we get to go home and they are at home. And they might not, be willingly wanting to hold this in, but it's not like they got a great amount of protection from anyone. So they don't have any protection from anyone. $125,000 can do a little bit, but I'm like, if Tyler Perry and all these guys who got that kind of money, if you really, really wanted to help, a reward that would make sense, in my opinion, is to say, look, if you say something, we're going to not only just get you out of there, but we'll get your family out of there. We'll set you up with a job in another city. We're not going to even tell people where we're sending you to. But if you could tell us anything that you know, and it leads to a break in this case, I believe that would help. But because you give them some money to stay in dire situations, you gotta look at it. Is the money really worth it? Could I wake up tomorrow and Tyrone is getting pulled into jail every other day, or this person or my job is getting snatched away from me, or the whole community turns against me like they're doing against Nolan's mom? They attack the job, start putting up bad reviews, just all kind of stuff that people are doing, and she lost her child. These young men haven't lost anything. Nothing. They've lost nothing. People say, oh, they lost their best friend. Was he really? I don't see the actions that they show. I don't see them as losing a best friend. What I do see is people worried about a football career and stuff like that. That's what I see. I see people using their positions of power to hush up people. That's all I see. Any other time you see I'll put it. This is going to be one of the few times you guys hear me say something about different races and cultures. The minute a black person gets in trouble, they go to jail. You hear the news about they run down of their life, what they did yesterday, what they did last year, what they did 3 years ago, and he got caught with a joint 2.5 years ago. The young man that got stabbed by Carmelo Anthony, you didn't hear nothing about all the stuff that his ass was doing until just recently. But Carmelo was sitting in jail. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So with that, I'm going to say I appreciate y'all coming through. I'm not going to hold this one real long because I got to go in here and find some movies. I've been movieing it out, and Nolan Wales in it out, and Carmelo Anthony in it out. And I'm going to just be real. I don't need nothing from it except I just want to hear the truth. Something feasible that really honestly makes sense. Not this, he accidentally drowned, he was drunk, and nobody saw him. With that, appreciate you guys coming through. Block fam's always that. I'm going with Michaela Mayer. I'm going with Caroline Dubois. I think I'm going against Alicia Baumgartner. So I'm gonna study on my picks tomorrow morning and get them in. Moses Atama. I just gotta figure out if he's gonna win between 7 and 10. 7 and 10. I think between 7 and 10, he probably can stop Flip. With that, I'm out. Peace.